Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever or whenever you're watching this video in the world. Today is just the tip. Daily story tip is going to be about who's a storyteller. You know, back in the old days, we wouldn't have things like Beowulf or the Epic of Gilgamesh if we didn't have people that roamed from town to town telling stories. A lot of people ask me, I don't know, or tell me that they don't know that they could write or tell a story. But I'm like, you already do that every day. If your spouse asks you how your day was, do you just ignore them and not tell them? Or perhaps you have something that happened to you you're telling your buddies or your friends at work. We all tell stories. It's a part of our daily lives. In fact, it's kind of the basis of communication so that we can relate to one another. Let me give you an example. Now, you may not think that you're telling a story, you're just relaying information, something that happened. But that's where the storytelling art comes in, where you can use things like dialect and stuff to tell the story. I'm going to give you an example, okay? Uh, when my son was young, just let's pretend I'm talking to a friend, okay, Sam. Well, Sam, today we had the biggest problem. We were out uh, grilling, and the kiddo disappeared. He's only 3. He disappeared, and we spent 3-4 hours looking for him. We knew we couldn't find him. We were freaking out. We called the police and everything, and it turned out that he'd crawled up under the house and found him a cool spot and fell asleep, and we never even knew. He just come wandering in the house in the afternoon. The cops sitting there filling out the report and everything. It was the darndest thing I ever saw, right? So that's just me relaying the information, right? But what we want to do is we want to cat grab people and you can use something like dialect. Now, granted, people tell me that they like my voice, but I think I'm the worst voice actor ever. There's many other people in our community that do a much better job with accents and things. So I'm going to fall back on something I grew up around, and I think you'll recognize it. So, boy, Sam, I tell you, that kid, hey, darn near give me a heart attack this morning. Really? Yeah, yeah. Went up, disappeared on us. We weren't paying attention, I guess, and he just disappeared. We ended up having to call the police and everything. And oh, the wife was so worried. I tell you what, there, Sam. That kid, that kid's dumber than a box of rocks. I tell you what. And oh, I swear I'm gonna wear that boy's ass out. And well, what happened? Well, he disappeared. Just up and disappeared. We didn't know what happened to him. Thought somebody grabbed a hold of him and took off. Well, turned out we're in the house filling out paperwork. Wife's in tears, can't hardly hold herself together. And then come walking the little kid. No worse for the wear. And I run up to him and grab him and hold him tight. Boy, we thought he'd gone. And I pushed him away, hold him at arm's length, and said, "Where you been, boy?" "I fell asleep under the house, Daddy." Oh, I swear I was going to wear that boy's ass right there. And if the police hadn't been there, and I would have. So you see what I mean? It is about how you tell the story. That's where the art comes in. Well, you can notice when you put dialect in there, you can pull a lot more emotion into it because it's something you know, especially if it's a dialect you're very familiar with like that. I grew up around a lot of people who to this day speak that way. And that isn't because they're dumb. It's because that's all the example they had growing up. Um, so I hope you enjoyed this video. We're going to get more into dialect in the next tip video, but the whole point of this is everybody's a storyteller. Stop telling me you can't tell a story because you can. Your life experiences, your ideas, this is what brings us together as a community. Even if it's a story that I don't care to listen to, there's somebody it's going to touch. So, as always, remember, your life is your story. Let's make it a great one. And good day.